Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Bad people, welcome to our show. Medium people, welcome. Anyone, welcome. Because today we are going to discuss more about SEO. We are going to cover and share new insights about publishing velocity and many other things. I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Dimitris Drakatos. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm very happy to be here with you, Anatoly, and speak all things around SEO, publishing velocity, and anything more that comes up. So more than excited.
Yeah, a big pleasure to get you, to meet you, to learn from you. Jimmy, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and anything that can help our listeners to learn more about you.
Yeah, sure. So Dimitris. I'm from Greece originally. I live in London, but I spent also some time in Greece since I'm fully remote. I have been doing SEO for the past 8 to 9 years, working for several companies, mostly startups, which is my passion. A few of the companies that I have worked with is a Revolut, Workable, Peanut, and recently Paired, which is a relationship app, the number one relationship app. At the moment, I'm the head of SEO and ASO, which is, of course, search engine optimization and app store optimization. I have been also speaking on several conferences like Brighton SEO, um, co-authored a book along with a few of the top SEO guys out there. Also have been a judge on the Drum Search Awards for 2022, and I have been also pro bono mentoring femtech startup founders, and also I'm also helping a few people on the growth mentor side. Again, pro bono, since I'm kind of enjoying, you know, spreading the knowledge and ideally learn also from their pain points and become a better marketeer overall.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. Great experience. Love it. Love it. Okay, Dimitri, let's talk about SEO and ASO, because
Yeah.
for me, it's like two different niches. It's hard to be successful everywhere. I mean, like, for example, I usually pay more attention to SEO and can neglect pay per click. I understand how it works. I understand paid marketing. But when I check out all the settings, new things that are coming, I understand I can't cover them and pay attention to one specific direction. And can you tell how you can be successful in SEO and ASO, and tell our audience how they can cover two important directions, because sometimes we need to unite both to get results, because it's not only website optimization. uh, Apps are so popular, and I don't know where people spend more time, but in apps they spend a lot of time. So can you tell how to learn both and unite in one strategy?
Yeah, definitely. So I think when I first introduced to the world of ASO was like around 4 years ago, back on my Revolut days. So ASO at that point was like fairly new. Since then, it has been evolved a lot, and of course SEO did. There are some similarities, like you definitely have to leverage keywords in order to rank higher and get more visibility and ideally more installs. But a big difference with the SEO is that, first of all, any changes you make have a more immediate impact compared to SEO, which normally takes longer time, especially based on the competitiveness of its keyword and niche. But also with ASO, you have more, let's say, more impact on the conversion rate. While with SEO, of course, conversion rate plays a big role, but it's a synergy of multiple teams, not just the SEO manager or the SEO department. So I think the most important part is like first understand the niche and the market, then think strategically, just like we do with SEO. I think it makes sense to focus on keywords that do make a difference, have a normal keyword difficulty, but at the same time they do make a difference, they make an impact once you rank high. Um, And of course, focus on the conversion rate. Doesn't mean that a high traffic or high visibility translates to a lot of installs. So you need to keep this balance between getting this relevant traffic, but also converting it. So I think this is like the main intro and main difference. Of course, with if I have to answer your question, it's like I could talk for ages about like what things you could do to succeed in SEO and what things you can do to succeed on ASO. But if I had to choose like 2-3 key things, although it's super limited, I think it's staying relevant and making sure that you create the best content out there. It's still the case. I mean, with AI evolution and with the recent generative set results, it's more important to make sure that your content is unique and it has something that differentiates from the common search results. Adding this expertise, fact check or review your articles by experts is always a game changer. I have seen it working like a charm over the past year or so, which I have started working with experts reviewing our posts. And from an ASO perspective, I think the most important part is never settle. Try to ensure that you always test things. You can A/B test. You could check the conversion rate, and something that works now, maybe after 3 or 4 months, will not be working, or at least won't get the conversion rate that you previously had. So you need to make sure that you stay in the loop. You check your competitors every other time there's a new competitor that comes out in both SEO and ASO. So you need to beware and be prepared.
Yeah, nice, awesome. Yeah, I know SEO is a quickly changing world, so many things
Yeah, exactly.
change. Yeah, changing fast. Yeah, sometimes, not sometimes, it's always hard to get new things that are coming, and I usually ignore most of them because we have no time to consider all new insights. Like, for example, on Google, plus 70,000 updates each year. It's a lot. Yeah, most of them are slight updates. We can feel them, but in most cases, it's better to pay attention to strong signs. And I can feel the last time that it's better to think more about human being, about common marketing than about
Exactly.
SEO. Yeah, because human being can't understand these complex algorithms. Even I remember when John Mueller shared about paginations that it's working, but it stopped working for many years because John can't know everything that is changing in SEO. So can you tell your methods how to stay in game, how to update what you have? Because you mentioned if something works today, in 3 months it's possible that it doesn't work. So any tips about that?
Yeah. I think a lot of like with the rise of Twitter, LinkedIn, there are so many gurus out there sharing their expertise and how you could conquer the rankings, especially when it comes to SEO. And
I get emails every single day from these gurus, every single day they mail
exactly.
me to sell guest posts and many other
Comment,
things.
and comment. I want this, and then you're gonna get a DM. So I think it's important to sometimes to zoom out. I believe that there are some specific things that they do work no matter what. So sometimes people think like, oh, I need to do this and that, while they haven't invested in the most basic things, the most basic elements, and best practices. So making sure that you stay focused on these important elements, and sometimes zoom out. And like at the beginning it was like core web vitals or mobile first index, and then it was like core web vitals. They recently said that core web vitals is not a ranking factor. I mean, it's just making sure that your website is like mobile friendly, it loads pretty fast and follows, and it's passing the core web vitals. So it's not that simple as it sounds, but still, like, keep things simple and not over analyzing. Sometimes is better. At the same time, of course, you need to keep updated. I'm kind of following a few of the main thought leaders out there regarding the SEO world. Just like you said, the John Mueller. There are also a few other guys that they really do a good job. At the same time, Search Engine Roundtable, Search Engine Round. There are a few websites that they always share a bunch of updates. So it's good to stay in the loop, but sometimes you need to just say, I heard about it, I read about it, but still, I'm pretty sure that I'm doing a good job. So there's no need to always changing. I think the staying on alert is like more of ensuring that you have a very good overall picture about first the competition. I always see that every other month there's a new competitor coming out, starting to investing in SEO. And of course, if you see any sudden drop, you need to have a quick look around about whether there's an update. And if you have been hit by an update, you need to understand why is that. Is it because you have been doing some shady tactics regarding the use of AI? Is it something that regarding your core web vitals, like you have been consistently failing passing the core web vitals, so you need to definitely invest and improve your score in order to be okay by the next update. So I think these are the most typical things and the most important things that you need to take into consideration every time. At least this is what I'm doing. I try not to over focus on the everyday things, but only on the most important things that make a difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I agree. I love it. I think focusing is the most important element in SEO, in digital marketing, everywhere. If you
Yeah,
have something that works, stay with that. Stay with that.
exactly,
Update.
exactly,
Great.
exactly.
Yeah, for example, I saw some experts just implement one strategy and that worked well. For example, Farid Kazoni, he's great with PR.
Yeah,
He, he
exactly. I
doesn't
know him.
cover
He's
skyscraper, guest posted. Yeah, he does only PR and he's the best on that. So, and I think it's okay if you pay attention to something that works and update. I remember when Neil Patel told me that he doesn't learn SEO news. If he implements what works well for him, but if something changes, he can open surround table. You mentioned this resource and can analyze
yeah.
what's going on and to think how to adapt to that. Yeah. So
Yeah. This is the case. I think the most important part is like not over focusing on the on the on the things that people may consider like working, or something that works for you maybe doesn't work for me, right? So it
yeah,
makes more sense to make sure that I'm not going to test multiple things, because at the end of the day you want, if you're testing every time multiple things, if you're changing things, at the end of the day you'll end up with mediocre results, or at least you won't be sure what has been working or not, right? Maybe you'll see a spike, but if you have tested 10 or 12 different things, you'll see like, okay, but what was the reason about this spike? Was it the first thing, the second, the third, or like the 12th?
yeah. Okay, we have a good question about software. Even more about tools. I think yeah, we can extend to tools because I think it's hard to go ahead without tools. I use a
Yeah,
bunch of tools. I love many of them, but I don't rely 100% to any tool. They just show the way, and if you have experience, you can combine, you can mix
Exactly.
experience with tools. So list your tools that you must have, in your daily routine, and how to use them.
Yeah, I think the most important tool that I'm using always on a daily basis is Ahrefs when it comes to keyword researching and competitor research. I think this is the tool that I personally use. I could also use another tool like SEMrush, but I prefer the user experience of Ahrefs. Um, I have recently, like the past year or so, playing around with tools like ClearScope and Phrase. These two tools are really great when it comes to actually ensuring that your content is on a very, very high level. I used to create an SEO brief for its keyword, and then I have been testing everything and checking the draft from the writers. With ClearScope or Phrase, depending, of course, on your budget, I have been using it for different projects based on the budget that I have, because ClearScope is a bit more expensive. I have seen that they help me kind of spend less time on reviewing the draft of the writer, just because I pass the brief and the ClearScope or Phrase link, so I kind of already see the content grade score, and this makes me understand whether we're on the correct road or we need to make adjustments. Of course, there are tools like Search Console that you definitely need to take into consideration as well on a daily basis. I'm on a search to see if there is another tool that could replace Google Analytics. Like I used Universal Analytics, but now with J4, like it's a nightmare. I hate them. I don't know what's your opinion, but I really hate them. I'm kind of, every time I'm trying to find a way to create a new report that was just a 5 seconds report on Universal Analytics. Now it takes a lot of time, and in a few cases, this report doesn't exist. So yeah, I think these are the tools. I also another tool that I'm also using is Keyword Insights, both from some keyword clustering, but also I have been using their free feature of SERP analysis. So I'm kind of excuse me, of analyzing the SERP similarity of a few keywords. Again, normal. My approach always when it comes to choosing tools is first, making sure that I get the most of them on a good price, because sometimes it's overpriced, or at least making sure that the company or the project that I'm working for is aligned with the price. Like you could go pretty high with a tool, but sometimes you don't need. You can get the same features with a lower price, but the same value with another tool. And also how they help me to save time, to cut my time, because at the end of the day you need to make sure that you kind of automate a few processes, and things like, for example, checking 2 or 3 keywords, whether they have a good the same similarity score, so you could cover it with one page instead of multiple pages. If there's a tool that I just load the keywords and they pass me the SERP similarity score, it's fine. I don't need to do it manually. So yeah, I know there are so many tools out there, but I think these are the tools that I kind of use on a daily basis. And I have seen making the difference on my productivity when it comes to SEO.
Yeah. By the way, I use GA for a long time. I decided to spend some time every single day on this tool. And I think it's not user friendly, but if you spend time, you can learn all these features. It's just it's more about spending time on this tool to practice, to click all buttons.
Yeah, we
features.
have been using Universal Analytics for ages. So it's like, even if you buy a new car, and you have been driving the same car for 15 years, it will be like a real nightmare. Unless it's a Ferrari, if it's an upgrade, it's fine. But sometimes you see there's a downgrade, so you need to spend time, just like you said, and be patient.
Yeah. Okay. I want to ask about another tool. You mentioned a few times about AI. I spoke with Jeff Coyle on my podcast, co-founder of Market News, and he told me that in the future we'll have 3 companies. The first company will develop AI. The second company will implement AI, as I usually do, and the third company will be obsolete. Who can leave the trade, forget about market. And you mentioned that about AI, and you mentioned about creating content. I think content still king. So nothing works without great content, and if you can neglect everything, you can't neglect contact. For example, I know some companies can forget about link building, but when you have strong benchmark authority, probably you don't need it, so you can go ahead without that. So it depends on what you have about your authority. So can you tell about content and AI, because you mentioned both, and I think what I usually see when content creators use generic prompts, create generic content like how to play guitar, how to lose weight. I think you can find much better results on Google, if you type these keywords. But if you use the right prompts, you can create real unique and interesting content. Can you tell your methods how to use AI to create high quality content?
Yeah, definitely. I have been, like just everyone, I have been playing around with AI over the past months. By the time ChatGPT came out, like previously there were like other tools like Copy AI, Jasper, and many other tools that were leveraging AI. But I think with ChatGPT, it was this, big boom, and all of the startup founders were like, yeah, definitely, let's replace the writers with AI, and why not using AI and all these things. So I had to, get familiarized more. I'm using it on most of the projects that I'm either working on my main job or like some consultations. But I think the most important part is to ensure that you have a good visibility. Just like you said, you need to have top-notch content. So using AI could be a game changer in order to work on the publishing velocity, in order to create content with less budget, especially for commerce that don't have that much budget. I have also seen that a lot of that over the past years, the content writers and managers have been charging really high prices, even for an article. Like I have seen prices like $500, $600, $700 per article, which it's too much, especially for a small company that just starts. That they're on a seed round, or they have just raised their Series A, and they want to start investing in SEO, but they cannot justify this huge amount of investment. Especially if you have to compare with paid acquisition, which is from day one you see results. So I think AI could definitely help you, but I'm always introducing a step where you have the first draft with AI, but then there's a step with an actual writer, an actual reviewer, going the text, reviewing everything. Sometimes I have seen errors. Sometimes I have seen some specific repetitions. Good luck with that. Something like that. They're always closing with good luck and something like this. So you need to make sure that the text looks like more human, and at the same time it's fact checked, because maybe there are errors. But yeah, I'm using it. I'm very in favor, and I think it's inevitable. I have seen a tweet a few months ago saying that AI won't replace your job. it will only replace the job of a marketer that won't learn how to leverage it. So it's just a matter of finding a way to leveraging it. And just like you said, prompts are the holy grail. If there are so many prompts already out there, there are so many plugins that can make your life easier. But my suggestions would be start testing your own prompts, play around and see what's working for you. And if it works, if it produces the correct result, then stick on it and keep using it. I have been using it every day for different stuff, from some inspiration or some rewrites, or even like shoot me with 5 different meta titles or meta description ideas, so I could
yeah, by the way, it's
use them.
interesting. Yeah, about prompts. I check out time to time best practices about prompts, but I can use only one time. Then I need to play more, to clarify, to ask anything. Sometimes I can quit the chat, open new one because I can't explain in one chat.
Yeah, definitely. It's trial and error for sure. You cannot just have one prompt and say like, yeah, let's use this prompt, and then I'll just have a super correct, accurate, and optimized text. This doesn't work for this.
Jimmy, I want to ask you about publishing velocity. Can you explain what does it mean for our audience and how it can help in SEO?
Yeah, so publishing velocity is like in simple words, how much content you making live on a weekly, monthly basis, let's say. I think like I have been using this term over the past 3 years, and also testing this, and it really works. The strategy behind this is kind of simple. If you think about it, is that if you want to compete with on a market which is already kind of mature, and it's like a lot of competition, and if you want to make an impact as fast as you can, you need to think of strategies that and also there are many examples of domains that are not that strong. We're not talking about a domain that has like 80, 90 domain rating and authority. Then in that case, then it's fine. But in the real world, domain authorities could be anything between 20 to 30 to 40. That means that you need to make sure that you're thinking outside of the box, and you focus on the low hanging fruits. So with publishing velocity, in simple terms, you kind of leveraging the keywords. So you kind of create a keyword pool with relevant keywords. You create topic clusters, and you start publishing a lot. So that means instead of publishing 5 articles on a monthly basis, you go with 20, 30, 40, 50, depending on your budget, depending on your resources. And this helps you a lot with first having more chances to get higher rankings faster. And of course, at the end of the day, build this authority, this topical authority. And by that, I mean, imagine if you have like identified 100 keywords as your main target, the main focus for the next year. If you start writing about 5 keywords on a monthly basis, these 5 keywords have an X traffic potential. So the maximum traffic you can get if you are the first result for its keyword, and your chances, maybe you have like 20% of chances being the first result. If you go however, if you go from these 5 keywords to 50, you could see that this traffic potential increases so much. And even if your chances decrease of ranking as a first page result, so the number of articles being on the first page decrease, which makes sense, and go from the 20% to 10%, still 10% of, I don't know, 1 million compared to of 1 million traffic potential compared to 20% of, I don't know, 50K traffic potential is significantly higher. At the same time, this has also some other benefits, like you create a lot of content, a lot of relevant content. So that means more and better internal link building. You're covering a topic faster. So you create these topic clusters and this topical authority. And at the end of the day, you have more content. So someone is visiting your website and sees a lot of content instead of just 5 or 10 articles. They navigate and they go through tens or dozens of articles, which is super important for both users and Google.
Can you tell how to create a lot of content at scale? You mentioned that it's better to create many articles, 20, 30. I think, yeah, it depends on the resources that you have. But it's hard. It's really hard to control the process. I mean, like to manage the process, to create high quality content, because I often see this gap when I give my clients, for example, a list of keywords, I cluster them, and when they create a lot of content, they lose quality, because I usually tell them it's better to create one piece of content. If you can improve it, go ahead, create a new piece of content. But if you are going to write like 10 articles a week, and if it's hard for you, it's better to decrease the number of articles. So can you tell your methods, how to manage the process that you get high quality content in the end?
Yeah, I'm kind of creating some strict processes. That means there are multiple stages when that start from the keyword research and the SEO brief for its keyword creation to the draft from the writer, the SEO review, especially when it comes to when I'm working with a brand at the very beginning. I'm always including someone from the brand team or someone that is an expert as a stage for this process to ensure that they review the article, they review the page, both from a tone of voice, a brand perspective, but also from an actual facts perspective. Also, very important part of this is ensuring that you are using kind of the same people. For example, I've seen a lot of companies trying to find the cheapest writer, or like the cheapest solution, or like testing multiple writers. It's okay when you start, but once you find someone or like a bunch of people who are really good, I think the most important part is like maintain this relationship, because first you make sure that these writers have a deep understanding about your brand, about your tone of voice, about your products, about all your services. Also, as an SEO guy, you can have a better communication. They know your approach through the first 1 or 2 months. They have already received your feedback, so they're kind of already understanding how you approach the SEO for articles, and this results to less back and forth. I have seen companies doing the opposite, ending up with so many reviews of unfinished drafts with with drafts that need heavily rewriting. So yeah, consistency on the people you are collaborating with, and building strict procedures that always include a stage, especially at the beginning, a stage of someone which is an expert to review the actual copy, can be key for your success. And at the end of the day, although I'm talking about the publishing velocity, the increased publishing velocity, if you think that you can't have these processes with, I don't know, 10 or 20 articles on a monthly basis. Try to reduce a bit the amount, but making sure that your content is really high quality, because there's so many there's so much competition out there, and so many websites that need to be on the front line. So yeah, if you offer like average quality content, then it's difficult to rank high.
Yeah. Okay. I wanna ask about your book. It's interesting that I love reading books. I spend so much time by reading books. I do it daily, but I can't read 80% of books that I want to read. So many great books out there. I love them, but my time is limited. 16 hours a day. I need to sleep 8 hours, and I need to do some another job. So yeah, I still have time. I share this time because for me it's important to get foundation from books, and I love this content more than blog articles, audio podcasts, anything, because book authors usually spend like 6 months and a year to write a single book. Foundation is there, and I read a lot of marketing books, and I can even some books were written for marketing, not digital marketing, but I can relate all these insights to digital. I can feel that the human psychology is the same, just technologies change. So I want to ask about your book, in-house SEO success. Can you give me benefits, and to my audience, what kind of benefits we can get by reading your book, how it can help us to go ahead, to find the right direction, and to improve results that we have?
Yeah, definitely. So actually, it's the second book that I have co-authored. It's the third book of this series. So Buari, which is like the top SEO agency in the UK and among the top in Europe, have been doing this initiative for the past 3 years. So they started working with top experts, SEO experts around the world, to offer their hints, their tips, tell their story. Each one of us share their story on how to succeed when you're doing SEO on a company in house. In simple terms, it's just like a book sharing real time stories, real stories from SEO, challenges that they have faced, and um, 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 use cases, and also achievements. I really think that is very could be very productive for an SEO guy that works in house. It could be also for someone who works on an agency side, but especially for people working in house, doing in house SEO. I think it would be a very beneficial book, just because it has stories from real stories. Like you could read things on the internet, and some of them are not real, or you could say someone, have done this thing and quadrupled my traffic in 3 months. Yeah, it's fine. But these guys, um, among those guys, it's also me. We kind of share um, um, some case studies. For example, I have the two case studies that I have shared, where how to go from obscurity to some millions of traffic on a year, and or like how to handle um, um, a high um, um, a high growth website once you kind of reach these millions of traffic. And I actually share my story, and share tips on how I achieved it and what I did next. So definitely, it's something that would be beneficial. I'm not saying that is the best book ever. Definitely, It's just a book, so we cannot include hours of expertise, but still, like, it's a very good entry point for someone who is doing in-house SEO.
Nice, nice. Got it. Okay, guys, I'll submit the link to this book in the description. Wanna find time as well, so it's on my list. I wanna get these benefits. And I have final question. My final question about your experience. I found that I usually get high results with customers who understand SEO. If they understand, we can cooperate together. We can speak one language, to find the right strategy, and clients know why we need to create high quality content, what kind of content to create, why it's important to think more about traffic value than just to get this traffic or high ranking positions, many things. But if they don't, I usually tell them, take my course, learn from Lily Ray, Jeff Coyle, Mike Phillips, Chelsea Alves, many great experts who filmed videos or wrote articles for my course, or go to YouTube, Google, doesn't matter, just learn. Learn, get the basic, understand how it works. It's the same like how to lose weight. Yeah, if you hire the best coach and don't know why you need to eat healthy food, to drink water, I'm not sure it can help you, to lose this weight. I want to ask about your experience. Let's imagine it's your first day in SEO. You didn't work in any agency. You know about Google, that it can help you to find anything online, but you don't know how it's ranking, just completely from scratch. What will you do today to learn more about SEO?
Yeah, I think that the most important part is the trial and error. I always say, especially with the rise of AI, I think it's pretty easy to set up your own blog and start testing things. Of course, you need to have the fundamentals. There are a lot of SEO tools here that they have their own SEO Academy, SEMrush, Ahrefs, Moz. You could choose anything, so you can get the fundamentals from them, like what is SEO, what is on page SEO, what is off page, technical, what things I need to do. So you get the fundamentals, and then you start applying things and testing things. No matter how much info you read and you consume from sources out there, like either it's like a blog or an expert, or it's Twitter, or it's like a paid consultation or a paid video or anything. You at some point you need to to get your hands dirty and do your job, do the job on your own. So my simple recommendation is like, get the fundamentals from an online course or 2 online courses, then go to Wix, create a blog about a niche, use AI, rewrite a bit the article and start creating blog posts, and see how it performs. See what you're doing correct, what you're doing wrong, how to analyze the data from Search Console. So this type of stuff are the things that at the end of the day you'll end up doing when you're on an agency or in-house as a very junior SEO guy. So I think this should be the primer when you start.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think, if you just learn and do nothing, you get nothing, because any great sportsman, they practice more. Cristiano Ronaldo hits the
Exactly.
ball 1,000 times a day than to read books how to play soccer. I think, in SEO, it's the same. You can learn everything, but we have short memory. People forget fast about new things. It's like for a few days you can forget. I can forget for a few hours. Just tell me something new, I will forget. But if you implement, if you experiment, if you test, and even more,
Exactly.
you can fail. I usually fail all the time. For example, when I started PR, I learned a lot from Ferry Kazoni, many other great experts. I learned many best practices. I wrote a bunch of press releases, pitched them, and got zero. But I learned how it works. I adapted. I hired experts who can write great press release. I hired specialists who can distribute them, and we got mentions on CNN, Forbes, many other great websites because of knowing the process and cooperating with great people. Yeah.
And you've done, your errors, you learn from them, and
Yeah.
next time you saw that, oh, this didn't work, or yeah, this works, so I'm just following this road, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. People love to build high expectations. If you do something new, you can build, wow, I can get 1 million traffic, a lot of results, but it's not related to SEO. I think it's not related to anything, including SEO, because if you start something new, you compete with someone who spent decades on this game. You can compete, but it takes time. You need to be patient, and you need to adapt and change the game. If you use generic strategies, you can't succeed. Yeah, definitely. Dimi, it's a big pleasure to get in my show, to learn from you. You're so kind to share this valuable insights. I'm going to read your book. I'll put to my list. I recommend to anyone to read this book. Tell our audience the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
Great, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me here. It was a nice discussion, and yeah, I think the best way to somebody to contact me is like either on LinkedIn or Twitter. Also, my personal website, which is dimitrisdrakatos.com. I'm not very active when it comes to creating posts, so I have like some old posts there, but definitely there are some that could be helpful for someone to start, like some primers, some SEO primers. But I think for now the best medium is either LinkedIn or Twitter.
Yeah, by the way, Threads is coming. So it's a new social media.
I already have my account there. So
yeah. By the way, I registered my account and got 16 followers. I don't know how these people follow me.
yeah. I think they have created this correlation between the Threads and the Instagram account. So yeah, they're smart. They're kind of leveraging the user base they have on Instagram.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how it works. And one thing exactly you can't find on Threads, I'm pretty sure 100%, you will never find any tweets from Elon Musk on Threads.
Yeah, exactly.
Because on Twitter, I always get his tweets on my feed. Dimi, it's a big pleasure. Thanks again.
Same here.
Yeah, fun and valuable. Guys, you can find the link to LinkedIn account, to Twitter, and probably Threads website in the description below. Listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and see you next time.